My name is Bamboo de Pistola, Taga Los Angeles. Nice to see a few new faces. Welcome to our place, it's our space. We welcome you all with not a drop of hate, but you will share the same respect, or I am down to catch a case.
Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. I go by Speak Faithfully and started writing on my blog about 8 years ago, and has evolved into a podcast and now a YouTube channel. I wanted to make a brief video, introduce my channel, explaining who I am, what this channel is for, and really who this channel is for. So first of all, my name's Speak Faithfully, also my real name's Pacifico, and I was born and raised in Central California in a conservative and blue-collar region that I still love. I'm the youngest of 3 siblings in a biracial family. My mother's side is Dutch and my father's side is Filipino. And growing up, I was raised in a Catholic and Protestant Christian home, but later I became heavily involved in evangelical Christianity. All throughout high school, I was involved in a junior Navy program and was intent on enlisting, especially after 9/11. However, I was medically disqualified and instead went to college in Canada, which made me feel like a draft dodger. While in Canada, I began studying and training for a career in Christian ministry, but more importantly, some of my nationalism and my ultra right-leaning views came under criticism, and I started to arc towards the left end of the spectrum. After college, I came back to my hometown where I honestly floundered for a bit and ended up just working retail jobs. After a few years though, I did begin working in youth ministry and recovery ministry. I eventually left my hometown to attend seminary in Southern California. While I thought I was going to seminary to be trained on how to better minister to people with addictions, I actually spent the next 3 years dealing with my own addiction issues, my own past trauma, and my own struggle with depression that I'd been dealing with since middle school. I also spent this time really wrestling with some of my deeper questions about faith and the large disconnect between what I saw Jesus calling his followers to and what I had seen and experienced in Christian culture. I often aired these questions and concerns out loud and online while in seminary, as I encouraged my peers to wrestle with these questions as well. Ultimately, I realized I needed to pursue a degree in psychology to do the work that I wanted to do, and spent the next several years going back to school and pursuing various work experiences to apply for PhD programs. After 3 rounds of application, I finally landed a spot in a PhD program for counseling psychology, which I started in this last fall. Long term, I want to work with veterans and indigenous communities here in North America. I've worked with both communities before and care about the health disparities that impact both of these populations. Spiritually, I haven't been part of an organized Christian community for years. I identify as a follower of Jesus and believe that Jesus was the promised Messiah of Israel, and this belief is central to all aspects of my life, but I'm not part of any sort of organized branch of Christianity. Politically, while I started out arcing left in college, I eventually shot far past the Democratic Party and most closely aligned with socialism now. I believe many of the persistent problems here in the US and in the world in general are created by or made worse by capitalism and our relationship to wealth. In terms of some of the hobbies I've been into tabletop gaming and video games since forever. I've also been shooting on and off since I was 13 and currently possess firearms for home defense, anti-fascism, hunting, and concealed carrying. One day when I have money again, I'd love to get into 3-gun competitions. I'm also a bit of a novice prepper and EDC enthusiast. Currently, I just go a few steps beyond what the CDC recommends for home emergency kits, but I'm looking to go farther into this area, and the next major step for me will probably be getting my ARRL license and getting into the local ham radio scene. Overall, I think I'm a pretty easygoing guy and I don't take myself too seriously. I mean, I'm just an average person who puts his pants on like everyone else. I just do it with fantastic hair. This channel is a place where I'm going to share content where I put my thoughts out there for others to consider. I'll be speaking about broad topics of interest to me, but also specific current events. While I do share my current beliefs passionately, it's with the attitude of, if I'm wrong, I want to put it out there so they can be corrected. I'd rather be publicly embarrassed and change my views than to continue to privately believe something that's wrong. And that's tied to kind of a central theme of my life, and that's the pursuit of truth. I've always been more interested in finding out what's true and aligning myself with it than just defending or being vindicated in what I already believe. To paraphrase something the theologian N.T. Wright once said, probably 20% of what I believe is wrong. The problem is that I don't know what part of my beliefs are that 20%. Now, Wright argued this underscored the need for dialogue. He believed that it was in genuine dialogue with other people that those incorrect beliefs could be identified and corrected. And I think he's very right on that point. And that's what this channel is for. It's really about providing a space for dialogue and good faith. And my hope is to challenge other people in their thinking, but also to be challenged by other people in my own thinking. And that leads into who this channel is for. I want to take people with me on my journey as I continue to figure out life and faith. And because of my upbringing, the places I've lived, the political arc of my life from extreme right to extreme left, and the people God has brought into my life seemingly out of nowhere, I have a really mixed bag of friends and family. They come from all walks of life, different religions, different political ideologies, different racial and cultural backgrounds. And to be quite honest, they probably wouldn't all get along together if they were in the same room. I agree with some of them on many things and disagree with some of them on many other things, but they're still my friends and family, and that's not going to change. Because of this, I don't want to create content or a community that would alienate anyone or any group in particular. But at the same time, I don't believe anyone or any group is perfect, so everyone's probably going to get a little defensive about some of the content I put out there, where I'm criticizing or questioning something they feel strongly about. So really, this channel is for everyone, and everyone is welcome if you're up for it. This isn't going to be a channel or community just to vent about or demonize the other, whatever that group is to you. Most of my viewers will probably be from the US, and we're increasingly polarized and isolated in ideological and political silos. I am not interested in contributing to that. If you want to do that, I can't stop you, but do that elsewhere. Ultimately, I would love to see this channel grow into a place where a community of people from different starting points can learn from each other and grow together. So if that sounds like something you'd be interested in, go ahead and follow me and leave a comment. I'll try to respond to those that I can. And like and subscribe if you want to see me boot my dog's nose in the next video.